Hello and welcome back to the Peak District. And as you can see, it is a glorious day today. I've got beautiful blue skies, not a breath of wind. It's a perfect day for a walk in the peaks. So today we've started in Whaley Bridge again, started from my dad's house, and today we're heading up to Shining Tor. So we're heading up to Taxal Edge now, and we're going to walk along the edge towards Windgather Rocks. And from Windgather Rocks we'll head up to Pim's Chair, and then make our way up to Shining Tor and bag the trig point up there. And since the lockdown restrictions have been eased, we seem to have just had the most incredible weather, really. I can't remember the last time it rained. We seem to just be getting brilliant weather every day at the moment, so it's made for some really nice walks in the Peak District. I've done quite a few since the restrictions have been eased, and I've done quite a few without the camera, which has been nice to actually enjoy the scenery instead of just staring at a camera for a lot of the walk. And like I said, we'll be bagging a trig point up at Shining Tor, and that'll be number 9 on my quest of bagging all 88 trig points in the Peak District. So we're making good, steady progress. And like I said, heading up to Taxal Edge now, and then on to Windgather Rocks, and I'll catch up with you at Windgather Rocks. To Windgather Rocks, and we're heading away from there now and up towards Shining Tor. And you'll have seen we walked along Taxal Edge, some beautiful views from up there, looking over Whaley Bridge, and on the other side you can see down towards kind of like Kettleshume and all the way over to the Macclesfield Forest area. So from Windgather Rocks we have a quite a long and gradual climb now to Shining Tor. It's a really well marked footpath though, and it's quite a popular route in the area, especially on a day like this, because there's a car park about a mile or so from here called Pim's Chair, and that's where lots of people drive up there and just walk up to Shining Tor from there. And if you're into climbing, Windgather Rocks is a really good spot for going for a climb. Lots of nice little lots of different routes and crags to go up. It's a really popular place to go climbing. There's quite a few there just then. And like I said, heading up to Shining Tor now, and I'll catch up with you at the top at the trig point. So just coming down from Shining Tor now, you get a brilliant 360 degree view from up there. You can see all the way over Cheshire, over the plateau, all the way as far as Manchester. You can see the airport from up there. And then if you turn the other way around, you can see right back into the Peak District, all the way over to Coombs Moss where we walked last week. And on a day like today, you can see all the way over to Kinder. So you get a really nice view up there. And you also get a really nice view of Shutlands Low, which I like to call the Matterhorn of the Peak District. And whilst we were up there, we actually found one of Joe Brown's numbers. And Joe Brown was a very famous mountaineer back in the 60s, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was around that era. And for a short while, he worked at the Whitehall Centre, which is a outdoor pursuits centre where I went as a kid. You can stay, it's like a residential, and you do lots of outdoor activities. But anyway, he worked there many years ago now, and whilst he worked there, he created a bit of an orienteering course in the area. And how the orienteering course worked is, he basically went out, designed the course, or made the route, and he carved into stones grid references. So you start at a certain number, and the number that you are looking at will be the grid reference for the next point that you have to go and find, which I just think is awesome. So I think I've found about 2 or 3 of them now, because some of them are really hard to find, and they're really well hidden under like bridges and a lot of them are quite faded out now, but you can still find all of them. I've got a book actually which has a route in to which has a rough route in to find them all. Now I didn't take a photo of it whilst I was up there for 2 reasons really. One, some people were sat right next to it and I didn't want to disturb them whilst they're having their lunch. And secondly, I thought, do I really want to show everyone where it is? I feel like if you want to go out and do it, I feel like, you know, it should be a proper challenge, and I feel like that's how Joe Brown probably would have wanted it, not me posting on YouTube where the exact locations of all of them are. So I thought, kind of out of respect, I'm not going to show everyone where it is, but if you're heading up to Shining Tor and you look in that kind of general area on the rocks, etc., you're going to find it very easily up there. And I'll leave a link in the description if you want to read some more information about it, because I just thought because I found out about it a few months ago when I was out with my dad and his friends, and I just thought it was so cool that he's done this and that they still exist and you can still do the route. So anyway, we're heading down now from Shining Tor. It's just back up there behind us, and we're heading down into the Goyt Valley now, where the first proper stop will be at Errwood Hall. So I'll catch up with you there. I'm just heading down from Errwood Reservoir now, and you'll have seen that we walked past Errwood Hall on the way down from Shining Tor, or what's left of Errwood Hall. And when you head down from Shining Tor, you're basically walking through the old grounds of Errwood Hall, and you can tell because there's all sorts of old trees, loads of overgrown rhododendrons. It's a really nice part of the walk. And then from there we headed to Errwood Reservoir, which is just up there behind me. And we're just heading down to Fernley Reservoir now. And we'll be walking through the woodland, which has just been completely felled. So, and like I said in my previous video, I grew up in this area. And as a kid, I used to come to this woodland, build dens, you know, play manhunt, hide and seek, all the things you do as a kid. And we walked through it last year when they were actually in the process of logging it, and there's not much left of it. So it was really sad to see. But driving down today, I can see that they've planted rows of new trees, so that's nice that they've done that. So, you know, the next generation of kids can enjoy it like I did. So we'll just head along through the woodland now, and I'll catch up with you probably when we're on the edge of Whaley Bridge. And we've made it back to Taxal, and you still might be able to just about hear the church bell. And the reason why it's ringing is because it's just past 3 o'clock and it was the minute silence for Prince Philip. So we could hear it ringing all the way down towards the church. And when we passed it, the front doors were open, so we could actually see the person doing the bell ringing. So that was pretty cool. It's a super old church. I'm not sure how old it is exactly, but... So yeah, we're at the end of the walk. I think it was about 14 miles it came to at the end. Started in Whaley Bridge, headed up to Taxal Edge, onto Windgather Rocks, made our way up to Shining Tor, bagged our 9th trig point of the 88. Then we dropped down to Errwood Hall, down to Errwood Reservoir, then on to Fernley Reservoir, and then we've made it back here to Taxal. Brilliant walk if you're ever in the area, Whaley Bridge area, or anywhere kind of in the Goyt Valley. Highly recommend going up the Shining Tor. Beautiful views up there, especially on a day like today. We've been so lucky with the weather. And like I said, there's loads of places to start the walk, loads of car parks. It's quite an accessible trig point to walk to. And like I said, that's another one bagged off the 88. I think there's a couple more in the area around here, but I've bagged 3 now in and around the kind of Goyt Valley area, so I've still got plenty more to go. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a comment as always, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. I hope you all have a great weekend, hope you've been able to get out and enjoy this weather, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.